Okay, so sound on this might not sound great because much as I bitch about it in TV and movies, I don't know a thing about sound mixing, and I have never recorded a video on this laptop, and am using a webcam I've never used before, so have fun with that, regardless. Have I ever mentioned how much I love the myth of the curse of the House of Atreus? Because I really do. It's literally the subject of the first play I ever wrote. Anyways, I am too drunk to type this up, and that is why I'm making a video instead. I'm wearing a hat because my hair is super floofy, which is why this is all happening. Anyway, part of this myth you probably have heard of is Tantalus, who starts the whole thing. So Tantalus is a son of Zeus, because Zeus is fucking everyone, because that's Zeus. That's just what he does. Anyway, for whatever reason, Tantalus is the son of Zeus everyone actually likes. Like, Hera never tries to kill him for no clear reason, despite trying to kill most of the rest of them. But so he's a king. I used to know what fucking his kingdom was called, but it really doesn't matter. He's a king in Greece before Greece was Greece, because it was lots of little things that were Greek. Anyway, there are two versions of this whole thing, so I'm just going to mash them together because it's Greek myth and why not. So, the Greek gods go to Tantalus's for a dinner party. Everything is about dinner parties, and it's really bad. Tantalus, sometimes for no reason, sometimes because he wants to point out that the Greek gods are fucking ridiculous, decides to chop up his son Pelops and serve him for dinner. Which is generally not a good thing, as I'm sure you're aware. Anyway, most of the gods are, like, not on board with this. Demeter's distracted because that whole Persephone-Hades thing is happening around the same time, and she is, like, eating and sad. The rest of the gods are like, hey, that's a dude. That's your son. We know what you're doing. Stop. And they smite him. Zeus, probably, because that's Zeus's thing, is smiting people. They reassemble Pelops, and because Demeter ate his shoulder, it's now made of ivory, probably from a hippo, because, like, it seems like the Greeks would know more about Egypt than, like, Asia. I don't know. You get ivory from hippo teeth or elephant tusks, generally, unless you're really fucking weird and pry out human teeth for it, but, like, that's not gonna make a shoulder. Anyway, so that happens, and sometimes instead of that, Tantalus steals ambrosia from the gods at a separate dinner party, which also is not cool, and still gets you smited. So he is smited and sent to Tartarus, you know, the underworld, basically Greek hell, and is sentenced to forever stand in a pool of water roughly up to here, and with fruit trees, grapes, depends on, you know, who's talking, hanging down to about here. Thing is, he's always hungry and always thirsty, and if he tries to go for the water, it pulls down. If he tries to go for the fruit, it pulls up, or in some tellings, just, like, rots into nothingness. Regardless, not a great eternity. Anyways, the gods reassemble Pelops with the ivory shoulder, as I said, and for whatever reason, Poseidon decides, I gotta fuck that dude right the fuck now. And does. So that happens. And then later on, unclear on timelines because Greek mythology, Pelops is like, hey, there's this lady whose name I wrote down, Hippodamia, and I want to marry her. Because I do. And for whatever reason, in order to marry Hippodamia, he has to win a chariot race. Because I don't fucking know. No one has ever explained why, as far as I can recall. I'm also doing this mostly by memory with, like, no research. It's it's just more or less from memory. Anyways, so because he banged Poseidon, and Poseidon does horses and stuff and is a god. He's like, hey, dude, so I'm trying to hook up with I don't think she was a queen. I think she was just some woman. And I gotta win a race. So can you help me out here? And Poseidon's like, hey, that was some good sex. So sure, here's a really, really nice chariot. Because I'm not gonna. Because anyway, Pelops wins the race and marries Hippodamia, and thus we get the continuation of the line of the House of Atreus, which involves lots and lots of monarchs that lots of bad things happen to. One of the main ones is, she's Pelops' daughter or granddaughter, I can't quite remember which, Niobe. Queen of something, I want to say Pelops' daughter, because I think she cites Tantalus as her grandfather, which, why you would cite that, I don't know, but she does. Anyways, Niobe has like 9 zillion kids. I think she has like 18 sons and 18 daughters or something. And is like, hey, why the fuck are you people in my kingdom worshipping Leto, the mother of Zeus, or not Zeus, the mother of Apollo and Artemis? It's like, why the fuck are you worshipping her? She had 2 kids. Big fucking deal. I have, like, 30. That's 39? 37. 37. I have, like, 37 kids. Worship me instead. And, moral of Greek mythology, in large part, is don't get too full of yourself and never, never, never say you're better than the gods, because bad things will happen. But Niobe does it anyway, and is like, I'm great. So Artemis and Apollo, not being so pleased that this random mortal is, claiming she's better than their mom, who is, I think, a titan? Leto's backstory is unclear in my memory. Anyway, they're not so cool with this. So, those, 37 kids Niobe has? They kill them all with poison arrows. Because, they're archers and that's what they do. Anyway, Niobe or someone has kids. I don't know if she has more or someone else has kids. The house keeps going and bad things keep happening until we get to Agamemnon, who is terrible. He's really, really terrible. And I don't have enough time. I mean, there's no real time limit on this. I'm just saying I don't care at the moment to describe exactly how terrible he is, beyond I'm pretty sure he sacrificed his own daughter, burning her alive at one point. And, fucking... It's Agamemnon, just read the Iliad. It's actually very good, and there's lots of stuff in the Iliad. There's gods and wars, and, the first 3 words of it are rage, rage, rage. Read the Iliad. Anyway, Agamemnon is married to this lady Clytemnestra, who did something shitty. What the fuck? I was supposed to look that up before I started this. I don't remember what she did, but it was bad. And then Agamemnon comes home from the Trojan War, and she murders him. Whether she does it herself or by proxy, I don't remember, but she murders him. And somewhere along the line, Agamemnon's son Orestes, who... Yes, Clytemnestra is his mother, I think. Or his stepmom. I think she's his mother. But, Orestes... GTFO's out of there because, Clytemnestra just killed his dad. And when you're a Greek warrior, if your dad just got killed, you generally want to leave the room. Particularly if you're a child, which I'm pretty sure Orestes is at this point. Anyway, this is, many unfortunate kings after Tantalus, but still his bloodline. Time goes by, and Orestes grows up into, a Greek warrior dude, as you do. And, he decides that it's time to get revenge on his mom for killing his dad. So he murders Clytemnestra, because why not? That's general revenge. This whole story is documented in the Orestia, which is a trilogy of plays by Sophocles? Probably Sophocles. I have it on my bookshelf over there. I'm not going to go check who it is. I think it's Sophocles. And one of the only Greek trilogies that we have all of. But it's called the Orestia. Anyway, after Orestes kills Clytemnestra, there's this whole legal proceeding involving humans and gods to decide whether or not Orestes needs to be punished for murdering Clytemnestra after she murdered his dad. And somehow it's all resolved in the fact that Orestes is in the right here, and therefore the curse of the House of Atreus is broken. Literally, generations have suffered for the fucking bullshit nonsense Tantalus pulled, and I think Pelops might have done something stupid at some point. But regardless, I mean, he fucked Poseidon, and fucking a god is generally not a good idea. You either end up dead or cursed. Anyway, Tantalus pulled stupid shit. He is now stuck starving and thirsting forever, and literally his whole bloodline is cursed until one of his descendants answers the murder of another one of his descendants with murder, and then somehow winning a legal battle, probably through a technicality. And that's the myth of the curse of the House of Atreus, and I really like it because it's just very, very Greek. Thank you for listening to my drunk ramblings.